Yeah. So, I mean, with that, if we're going to be present, then we have to be constantly auditing. No, there should be constantly
Literally, yes, bro. Yes, that's my
holding.
favorite form of the mindfulness. Is and you got to be careful so you're not always just like overthinking shit, but it is like a to do in the back. You're like, audit, check, check. All right, we're good.
Yeah. How much of that do you, how much responsibility do you think falls on the individual to surround themselves with people that are willing to hold them to that level of audit?
You know the answer to that. Yeah.
But answer it
It's
because I
all
asked.
yeah, man. It's absolutely a responsibility of every person to as that metaphor, do the construction work
Mhm.
on their roads, and that's every aspect of your life. You know, like even through our journey of knowing each other, man, the changes that have happened on both ends.
Big growth.
We are not the same people we were when we met each other, man. And I love that about people I keep around me. Like that's almost been the single determining factor of who I've cut out of my life is if too long of a time passes and I feel like they haven't had a software update. I'm like, yeah, man, this,
You're like, you're running on the wrong firmware here. I don't
yeah,
know
you
what's
know, saying
happening.
it's too many incompatibilities now with my software. You know, so I got to find something else that's more compatible because I can only be so backwards compatible. You know, and I think that obviously the idea of echo chambers, you know, people have to be careful about only exposing yourself to the stuff that you agree with, uh, you know, and not being reactive when you have a strongly held belief that you and you come up to opposition to it. Because that's the only way that the real dialogue can happen. And usually that process of changing oneself, something is going to be destroyed, you know, or something's going to have to yield, and so, regardless, that's a part of you that has to yield, you know. But if you're the one forcing the change, then it's like, how do you choose to see that whole growth process? Are you looking at it from the side of you that is yielding, i.e., the victim, or are you looking at it from the side of the one that is doing the conquering or the winning or the renovation process, the one who is making those changes? And like that's a real small tweak of perspective. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, no one person has the fucking answer, and that's different for everybody. And it happens at different time frames. And usually it's a rough process to some degree, you know, and it's almost like Haley was making this point yesterday about if you're a person who has done work and nobody is goddamn perfect, but if you're somebody who has done work after you've done like a substantial enough degree of work, it is very easy to recognize other people who have done work and people who have not. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and I'd almost say that there's a little bit of tribalism that comes down the pipe when you're in a place and you look around and a lot of people haven't done work. A lot of people are just spouting off what the news is saying. A lot of people are just spouting off what their mama said 20 years ago. A lot of people are just repeating what they hear on Sunday without understanding why that's coming out of somebody's mouth, without even being able to point to where it came from. Everyone has a different belief system. There's they're all rooted in different things. I mean, I think a commonality there is hope, right? Why would you believe in something that's not giving you hope? And oftentimes people have come from dark, dark pits and they have clung to something that maybe I don't understand why you would cling to. However, if you're not even auditing what's coming into your brain and you're not auditing the people around you, I don't know what the hell you're doing. But I sit before you here, and I would be a hypocrite if I didn't say that for years I didn't do that. For years, I just took what was given to me as a child. I just took what was given to me, and I looked down on others for different reasons. And I'm not saying that you need to be elitist with doing the work, but I also do think that I expect those that are going to be sharing company with me to be at a level of growth, a level of pursuit to growth, to betterment, to understanding self. If you can't even tell me why you react to a certain thing a certain way, and you do it all the fucking time, are you working on yourself? If you can't tell me why you have an aversion to trying a different diet that's not riddled with processed meat, what the fuck are you doing? If you can't tell me that If you can't tell me why you think that people speaking Spanish in the United States is such a problem, you racist pig, you're not doing the work. Because the fact of the matter is the United States is a melting pot, and we're not called to hate one another. We're called to maybe understand others' cultures and way of life, whether you agree with them or not. So I don't know. And it sounds elitist me saying this, but I feel repulsed sometimes when I'm around a large quantity of individuals that haven't done the work, that are just spouting off random shit from other people that they don't even understand. But it's been programmed over and over and over. And I think that the most clear example of this is sports teams, politics, religion, right? And the diet culture. They will call you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because you're plant-based and have no idea what that even means. Like, go ahead.
And and the people within the plant-based community, because I was even I was looking at chicken coops the other day, because I'm looking at the landscape eggs, and I'm like, I didn't think it would be this soon. I would eat the chickens, you know, and I'm totally at peace with that. If I decide to get the goddamn chicken coop, get some chickens, and eat some goddamn scrambled eggs, that's perfectly cool with me. And I don't give a fuck what anybody's opinion is. And if that didn't make me vegan anymore, I don't give a fuck.
Well, because I might assert you're not an ideologue.
and that's what I'm trying to demonstrate, because anytime, like you said, we want hope, we want to belong. And anytime we really gravitate towards something, or we pick up a new habit, or we have a new way of going about our lives, we often we leave one group behind and we join another group. And then we kind of have this loyalty to that group. Same way that me being as deep into crypto stuff, I own some stocks. I'm gonna get more. I'm gonna get some real estate. And I'm not going to tell somebody they shouldn't do those things just because my main gang is crypto. and I think for a lot of people, it's like, it's the whole thing, momentum, resistance. You know, why do I want to buck the trend? Nobody wants to be the middle child where you're middle of the road and you could have been in this group, you could have been in that group, but now they both don't fuck with you.
Kind of like being
that's frightening.
Kind of like being a mixed kid. You know, white, black, right in the middle.
Facts. Hey, if you a grandpappy who used to tell your kids, don't ever marry a black guy, and then they bring home the mixed baby, guess what? You're going to have to deal with it. And then you will either grow or you won't. And those become the real test of self. You know what I mean? Fuck some outside opposition like we talked about before, man. Fuck some outside enemy. You are the enemy.